Hamnet is not the kind of film that tries to impress you with spectacle or loud drama. Instead, it quietly pulls you into a deeply personal and emotional world, one that lingers long after the screen fades to black. Released in 2025 and based on Maggie O'Farrell's acclaimed novel, Hamnet tells a story rooted in history but universal in emotion. It is a film about love, grief, parenthood, and the invisible scars left behind by loss. This is not a fast or easy watch, but it is a meaningful one, especially for viewers who appreciate thoughtful and emotionally rich cinema. At its core, Hamnet is inspired by the real-life tragedy of William Shakespeare losing his young son, Hamnet. However, the film does not focus on Shakespeare's fame, his plays, or his legacy as a writer. Instead, it turns its attention inward, toward the family he left behind and the emotional aftermath of losing a child. The story unfolds in a quiet, almost poetic manner, allowing the audience to experience grief not as a dramatic event, but as a slow, heavy presence that settles into everyday life. This approach immediately sets Hamnet apart from conventional historical dramas. One of the most striking aspects of the film is its narrative perspective. Rather than centering on Shakespeare himself, Hamnet is largely told through the eyes of the mother. Her experience of motherhood, love, fear, and devastating loss forms the emotional backbone of the film. The camera often lingers on her face, her silence, and her solitude, allowing the audience to feel what she feels without the need for heavy dialogue. Her grief is not expressed through loud crying or dramatic monologues, but through absence, distance, and emotional withdrawal, which makes it feel painfully real. The theme of loss is handled with remarkable sensitivity. Hamnet does not rush through the tragedy or use it as a plot device. Instead, it shows how loss reshapes an entire family. The death of a child does not just end a life. It alters relationships, communication, and identity. The film explores how grief affects people differently, especially within a marriage. While the mother turns inward, consumed by memory and sorrow, the father retreats into silence and emotional distance. This contrast creates an unspoken tension that runs throughout the film. Visually, Hamnet is breathtaking in its simplicity. The cinematography relies heavily on natural light, earthy tones, and slow, deliberate camera movements. Many scenes feel like living paintings, carefully composed to reflect the emotional state of the characters. The countryside settings, quiet homes, and empty rooms all contribute to a sense of stillness and isolation. The film often allows moments to breathe, holding on a single image longer than expected, which encourages the viewer to sit with the emotion rather than escape it. The direction is subtle and confident. The director trusts the audience to understand what is being felt, even when very little is being said. Silence plays a powerful role in Hamnet, often communicating more than dialogue ever could. There are scenes where nothing happens on the surface, yet emotionally they are overwhelming. This restraint may feel challenging to viewers who prefer fast-paced storytelling, but it is exactly what gives the film its emotional weight. The musical score is minimal, but deeply effective. Soft piano notes and gentle string arrangements appear sparingly, usually at moments of emotional transition. For much of the film, natural sounds take over, such as wind, footsteps, and distant voices. This sound design reinforces the feeling of realism and intimacy. The absence of constant music allows the audience to fully absorb the silence, which becomes a reflection of the character's inner emptiness. The performances in Hamnet are outstanding, particularly the actress portraying the mother. Her performance is controlled, restrained, and deeply moving. She conveys immense pain through small gestures, facial expressions, and moments of stillness. It is the kind of performance that feels lived in rather than performed. The actor playing the father delivers a quieter but equally powerful portrayal, showing a man struggling to process grief while remaining emotionally inaccessible. Together, their performances create a believable and heartbreaking portrayal of a family in mourning. One of the most thought-provoking elements of Hamnet is its exploration of the relationship between grief and creativity. Without explicitly stating it, the film raises questions about whether great art can emerge from deep personal pain. The connection between Hamnet's death and the later creation of Hamlet is suggested rather than explained, leaving the audience to draw their own conclusions. This subtlety adds depth to the story and respects the intelligence of the viewer. Symbolism is woven gently throughout the film. Nature often mirrors emotion, with changing seasons reflecting emotional transitions. Objects and spaces take on new meanings after loss, reminding us how grief transforms even the most familiar. Hamnet is not a film that tells you what to feel or think. Instead, it invites you to reflect, to remember, and to empathize. By the time the film reaches its conclusion, there is no clear resolution or emotional release. Hamnet does not offer comfort in the traditional sense. It does not suggest that time heals all wounds, or that grief can be neatly overcome. What it offers instead is honesty. It shows that loss becomes part of life, something carried forward rather than left behind. This may feel heavy, but it is also deeply human. In final judgment, Hamnet is a quiet, powerful, and emotionally demanding film. It will not appeal to everyone, especially those looking for entertainment-driven storytelling or quick emotional payoffs. However, For viewers who appreciate slow cinema, strong performances, and meaningful themes, Hamnet is a deeply rewarding experience. It is a film that stays with you, not because of what it shows, but because of what it makes you feel. Hamnet is not just a story about death. It is a meditation on love, memory, and the lasting impact of loss.